My child, tonight I call your name in the midst of a heavy gloom where rumors tighten around your heart like a rope. I do not paint over your pain with false colors, yet I will not let it rule you. I see your steps falter before a door smeared with betrayal and confusion. I will not vanish into silence, for my justice does not come to intimidate but to restore order. Where people measure gain and loss, I will gather your broken pieces, shape them into endurance, and return to you the strength to stand tall, so that the one who harmed you will no longer have the power to end your story. Do not think that the adversary always comes in a fierce form. Sometimes she arrives like a swallowed sigh, like a memory you tried to bury, but that rises again in the stillness. I know that part of you has been paralyzed by wounds for so long that you no longer know whether you are truly alive or merely existing. Dreams once cherished now lie as faded photographs in the corners of a drawer, and I, your Lord, do not turn away from such things. As it is written, I have seen their ways, but I will heal them. I will guide them and restore comfort to them, Isaiah 5:7-8. I am still watching, still listening, still moving, though you may not feel it. That one is cunning. She does not always need to strike with hammer and blade. It is enough to plant in your heart the thought, no one understands you, and that alone isolates you from me. And so you begin to believe the lie, slowly closing your heart, ceasing to weep, ceasing to pray, ceasing to hope. But I tell you this, within those very fragments, I will rebuild what you thought impossible. Do not flee from pain anymore, for I have not come to demand your strength. I have come to do what only I can do to heal. You no longer need to pretend you are fine. The counterfeit of peace cannot rescue your soul from the real chaos eating it away day by day. You can deceive others, even blind yourself, but you cannot hide from me, and you do not need to. For the darkest night is not what falls upon you from without, but the one you have grown accustomed to within. I do not come to expose you, but to free you. And the first step I ask is that you face your wound. My child, I do not ask you to pretend so that you can keep faith with others. A wound never acknowledged can never truly heal. Each time you try to skirt around a painful memory without facing it, you add another mask onto a soul already burdened. I do not condemn your feelings, I listen to them. The turmoil within you is not proof of weakness, but an alarm bell that something cries out to be rescued. Hiding pain does not erase it. It only festers, silently corroding your faith and hope. So stop. Name your pain. Let me enter that shattered space, for light can do nothing while you insist on living in the shadows you have built yourself. I know there are days when you feel like a battered vessel drifting across a boundless sea. Some wounds do not bleed but burn quietly inside. Some burdens are never spoken yet gnaw at you every night. You have learned how to exist but never truly how to live. You have become skilled at ignoring what is slowly killing your soul. But hear me now, to live that way is to accept pain as habit, and you were never created to live in the habit of sorrow. Beloved, I never demanded of you a false strength. You need not suppress your tears, nor put on hardness when inside you are weary. For I see beyond the mask you wear. I see the heart bleeding, the soul groaning in silence. What you deny does not vanish. It only waits for another moment to surge like a flood. I know you believe that silence makes it disappear, but truth does not fade when unspoken. It only tightens its grip when you refuse to face it. There was once a man named Jehoshaphat who stood before the threat of 3 mighty armies. He did not hide his fear, nor pretend to be fine. Instead, he confessed his helplessness before all Judah and turned to me in prayer. And I answered him not with sword or spear, but with the weight of my presence. Do you see? It was his acknowledgement of his limits that opened the way for victory. So too with you, when you dare to name your wound, you are not weaker, you open the door for me to enter. You are not defined by what others have done to you, but you will remain bound as long as you pretend you are unhurt. Shattered dreams, words that pierce like knives, betrayals without name, all still live inside you whether you admit them or not. Do not wait until they rot into a sickness of the soul before you turn to me. I am here, always here, ready to heal. But you must open your lips, face the truth, and speak honestly to yourself. I do not come to judge your pain. I come to lift it, to bear it upon my shoulders, to do what your strength cannot. But if you wrap it tight, Hide it beneath the pillow. Bury it in your heart. How can I touch it? Do not think that admitting your hurt is failure. It is the first step toward life again. As long as you force your heart to suffer in silence, you lock the door against the freedom I prepared for you. Beloved child, stop painting over the cracks in your soul. Stop coloring the stones that are already crumbling. For sooner or later all will collapse, and I do not want you to realize only when standing in ruins. Let me rebuild from the foundation, from the ground where truth is named, where you can dare to say, I am in pain and I need Father. That is not failure, it is the tolling bell of a beginning. Do not wait until pain hardens you so much that you no longer feel. Do not wait until you believe coldness is safer than love. Let me come in. I will not fix you by erasing the wound, but by stripping it of its power over you. Some memories I will not erase, but I will change the way you see them. Some people I will not compel to return with apologies, but I will free you from needing their repentance to be healed. My child, if today you dare to admit what is hurting you, I promise you will not walk alone. I will take your hand through each layer of shadow, through every corridor of memory, through the deepest chambers of your soul. I will not let you be left behind, for I did not create you to be a victim forever. I call you the one who is restored. And when you dare to look back, to face, to name the very thing that brought you down, then you will see, my eyes never left you. Not every storm comes to sweep away. Some storms are allowed to rise, to clear the path for light. And light, my child, does not arrive with clamor, it comes when truth is pulled out from the dark. There are silences so long that your soul begins to believe I have departed. Days when you pray and hear only the echo of your own voice. In that silence, you form the conclusion, surely God has forgotten me. But child, my silence is not absence. It is the time when I work most deeply in places you cannot see, in realms beyond mortal sight. You think I am silent because I am distant, but in truth, I am holding your hand tighter than ever, only your pain has dulled your sense of it. You once asked, where were you when I cried out? I was there. In every sob and every whispered word you could not voice. Every tear fell not in vain, it fell into my hand. You think I did not answer, because nothing outwardly changed. But I do not only work on the outside, I first work within. I am softening the heart that turned to stone through despair, reshaping the soul bent by bitter words. And I am forging through pain a child who is stronger, deeper, more steadfast. Do you remember when Elijah, my prophet, after a great triumph, fled in fear and begged me to take his life? In the wilderness, he lay beneath the broom tree, wishing never to wake again. Yet I came not in fire, nor in earthquake, nor storm. I came in a gentle whisper, and in that was my presence. So it is with you. I do not always arrive in explosions, but in the quiet encouragement within, in the unexplainable rest of sleep, in a friend's message at the exact moment you falter. That is me telling you that you have never walked alone. I never promised you would never hurt, but I did promise you would never be abandoned. In every valley of shadow I walked before you to prepare the way. In every mist-filled turn I placed my hand on your shoulder to keep you from straying. You may not feel it, but I am still whispering in your soul. Keep walking. I am here. Do not let feelings deceive truth. Faith does not rest on emotions, it rests on the nature of the one who never changes. So, child, if today you feel hollow, as though your prayers vanish into the void, then pause. Say nothing. Just sit still. I am there. Breathe slowly so. My gentle wind can pass through every layer of hurt, every veil of doubt. I will not force my way into your life as a king demanding a throne. I will wait at the door of your heart and knock until you are still enough to hear. And from that place, as your heart softens, you will see you are not abandoned. You simply never learned to recognize a God who whispers. Then my words will grow clearer, my actions undeniable. For I am not only the Lord on high, I am the Father seated beside you, quietly undoing every knot in your soul. I am not as distant as you thought, I am nearer than your breath. And when you know this, you will be ready to see justice, not the retribution you sought, but a restoration beyond anything you imagined. At times, justice does not come with thunder, but with silences so long that you think injustice has been excused forever. I know this makes your heart close, tempts you to give up and live as though no one rules the world. But I tell you, justice is never late. It arrives on the schedule of eternal wisdom. If I delay, it is not because I do not see, but because I am arranging something that will not only correct the wicked but restore glory to the righteous. Do you think I ignore? I do not miss a single venomous word hurled against you. I see the times they laughed at your ruin, the subtle acts that twisted others against you. But I am the God of truth. I am not blinded by flattery nor swayed by appearances. I see the heart, and for every injustice inflicted, a time has been set when I will speak. The wicked may think they have escaped, but my silence is only the space they are given to realize they are digging a deeper pit beneath their own feet. But my child, my justice is not like human justice. It is not merely punishment, but the restoration of all things to their rightful place. I do not only expose the wrongdoer, I also heal the wounded. It is a justice so profound that it makes hell tremble and heaven rejoice. I am not in haste, for I am never careless, nor will I let you wait in vain. Just as with Joseph, betrayed by his own brothers, falsely accused, forgotten in prison, yet at the appointed time I raised him to be ruler of the land. And when that moment came, he could declare with confidence, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Beloved, one true justice is not when those who hurt you kneel at your feet in apology. True justice is when you can stand upright, no longer bound by their words or actions. It is when you can look back, no longer trembling in pain, but shedding tears as you realize I walked with you through it all. I do not wait for people to repent before I begin restoring you. I begin the moment you place your wound into my hands. They may never understand what they did, but that will not stop me from fulfilling what I have promised you. True justice never comes to satisfy wrath, it comes to restore authority, and I am doing that within you. Every tear you have shed is not only a sign of sorrow, but a seed quietly sprouting. You cannot see it yet, but beneath the soil something new is breaking forth. When I restore, I do not simply patch the old. I give you something entirely new. I do not rebuild a fallen house with broken bricks. I lay for you a stronger foundation, a broader dwelling, and a doorway into hope. So release, my child, the notion that justice only exists when those who harmed you face consequences. Believe instead that true justice is your freedom from dependence on whether they change or not. For sometimes the one I desire to change is not them but you, that you may no longer see yourself through the lens of past wounds. And when you realize this, you step into the freedom. True justice brings complete restoration without requiring an apology. Then you will see the evil the enemy meant to destroy you has become the very ground upon which I build something steadfast. You will see what was once your weakness become the place where my power is revealed. You will see the enemy who seemed victorious, ensnared in his own trap. I am not the God of cheap vengeance. I am the God of glorious restoration. Keep walking, my child, in the assurance that my hand is still at work. Keep believing even when doubt lingers. For justice does not always thunder like the storm, but it always leaves the mark of restoration. From what was stolen, I will return double. From what was buried, I will bring forth life. Then you will not only say you have been healed, you will live as one who has overcome. Victory is not found only when you feel strong, my child. Victory does not begin with emotion, but with identity. From the moment you were called, my child, victory was sealed in your soul. But I know the enemy has tried to cloud this truth, making you believe you are still imprisoned in failure, bitterness, and fear. You see no chains on your hands, yet you live as though still bound. This is his most cunning deception, to make the free walk as captives. Beloved, the sorrowful truth is that sometimes you have unknowingly given power back to what I have already broken. You have allowed the voice of the past to drown out my call. You have let one fall define you, or a word from another's lips shape your worth. But I ask you, did I create you to bear eternal burdens, or have I given you a new name, a new garment, and a new position where nothing can force you to bow again? If the Son sets you free, you are free indeed. This is the word of the one who has overcome the world. You have forgotten that you are standing from victory, not striving toward it. This victory is not yours by merit, but by the blood that was shed for you. I have torn down every wall, broken every unseen shackle, and written over your life the words, "It is finished." No one, not even you, can erase this. But you must learn to live as an heir of victory, not through shouting, not through pride, but through quiet faith, knowing you are no longer ruled by emotion, wound, or enemy. Do you remember the story of David, the small shepherd boy before Goliath with no armor, no sword, only a sling, and an unshaken faith? Others saw weakness, but I saw a warrior. For power does not come from what you carry, but from the one who walks with you. It was faith in me that made that stone a weapon of destruction. In the same way, you do not need much to overcome, only to remember who is with you. I know you are weary. I know the unseen battles of the Spirit make you long to give up, but do not let fatigue rob you of power. Do not let circumstances make you question the authority you have been given. For the enemy only wins when you forget who you are. When you close your eyes, bow your head in faith, and whisper, "Though I see nothing, I know you are at work." That is when heaven shakes and hell trembles. Rise, my child, not with feet of self-confidence, but with feet upheld by grace. Rise not to fight in your own strength, but to live as one crowned with authority. Every weapon formed against you will fail, not because of your resistance, but because you are covered by the one who has overcome. Live as one protected, anointed, and sealed by heaven. Remember, your victory does not rest in feelings, but in my name. And when the storm comes, you need not hide or beg. Lift your head. Remember, no power on earth can overtake a child standing on the foundation of resurrection life. When you know who you are in me, no weapon can shake you. For you are not merely surviving, you are called to live in triumph. Not only escaping, but stepping out in new authority, not only forgiven, but entrusted with power. So, my beloved, do not let the enemy deceive you another day. Do not live as one tossed by circumstance. Stand firm, declare what I have spoken, even when your feelings still doubt. Act as one forgiven, even while scars remain on your flesh. For in me, victory is not something you wait for, it is something you have already received. And from that position, from that identity, you will step into a new journey. Not a journey of avoiding pain, but of living as one healed. Not to prove anything, but to walk in what has already been given. Then you will understand, true freedom does not come from life being easy, but from the certainty that I am with you, and nothing can shake that foundation. There are wounds that need no further attack to endure. They survive only because you keep holding them. I know you do not wish to cling to pain, yet you have never truly let it go. For forgiveness to you has not seemed fair, and indeed forgiveness is not fairness. Forgiveness is supernatural. Forgiveness belongs to those who trust in a justice greater than human eyes can see, and you are invited into that land. Beloved, surrender is not suppressing emotion and pretending all is well. It is when you have the courage to say, "Lord, I cannot carry this anymore, please carry it for me." It is when you open your hands, releasing the grip on words spoken, deeds done, apologies never given. Surrender is not bowing in defeat. It is lifting your head in faith, knowing I will handle it in due time in the right way without distorting your soul. You may think holding on to resentment is a form of justice, as if anger proves your wound is real. But my child, if you keep feeding that fire, it is you who will be consumed. Forgiveness is not compromise with wrong, but liberation from invisible chains. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it changes the future. When you forgive, you declare to yourself, "I will not let yesterday decide how I live tomorrow." Do you remember Jonah sent to proclaim judgment, yet angry when I spared Nineveh? He could not understand why a sinful nation deserved mercy. But what he did not see was this: the mercy he withheld from others was the same mercy that once saved him from the belly of the great fish. My child, when you refuse to forgive, you shut the door on the very mercy you live on every day, and in doing so, you withdraw from the flow of healing. I do not desire you to remain numb forever. I do not want you to keep hiding. It is time for you to step out of the land of wounds and into the path of restoration. I do not promise to erase every memory, but I promise to transform them into building stones. I do not promise you will never hurt again, but I promise pain will no longer rule you. Healing does not come in a thunderclap, but in small choices, choosing to forgive, to trust, to love again. My child, light does not need your perfection to shine. It only needs the smallest crack in your heart to break through. And from there, I will do the rest. Every time you say, I don't understand, but I choose to release, you take a step into true freedom. Every prayer through tears, every silence in place of anger, every decision not to let feelings dictate your actions, each one is an invitation for me to touch the deepest places of your soul. Healing does not come in a single moment. It is a journey, but it is a journey I walk with you. With every step you take, I am beside you. Each time you want to turn back, I lift you up. Whenever you are lost in your emotions, I draw you back with the calm of my presence. You do not walk alone. And the wonder is this: you will not only be healed, but you will become a witness to healing itself. Your forgiveness will become a living prophecy that grace is still enough for the broken. There will come a day when you look back and no longer see wounds but the traces of a miracle. You will no longer speak of your pain as proof of your brokenness, but as a song about a God who never abandoned you. And the very light you now walk in this is the light you will carry to others in days to come. Every drop of blood my son shed was not so that you would continue living as a forsaken sinner, but so that you would stand firm in the identity of the chosen one, lifted from the ashes, sealed with heavenly authority. Do not let the past map out the course of your life anymore, my child. Those who turned their backs, those belittling words, those cold stares, all of these hold no power if you stop clutching them as treasures. I see you still holding on to those old fragments, as if they prove who you once were. But I ask you, do you want to be healed, or do you want to be proven right in your pain? I have not come to argue with your suffering. I have come to embrace it, to lift it, and to replace it with life. But I can only do this when you are willing to open your hands. Forgiveness. My child, is not a gift for the one who wronged you. It is freedom for you from the invisible chains clinging to your soul. Forgiveness is the declaration, I choose life. For you cannot walk in light with your hands still grasping the dark. You cannot harvest peace while your heart clings to resentment. And you cannot clearly hear my voice while the echoes of complaint fill your heart. I do not ask you to forget. I do not say you must pretend nothing happened. But I plead with you, do not let pain be your compass. Do not let the past become the measure of your future. My child, what was done to you is not the final chapter. I am the author, and I am still writing. When you surrender, you do not fall into emptiness. You are upheld by the very hand that stretched out the heavens and laid the earth's foundation. Nothing you entrust to me falls into the void. It passes through refining fire and returns to you wholly transformed. You once gave me fragments, and I returned wholeness. You once brought me shame, and I gave you a new identity. You once offered tears, and I turned them into joy. Do you know what has delayed your healing? Not the enemy, not the one who hurt you, but you, when you keep believing you are unworthy of being made whole. But my child, healing does not come because you are good enough. It comes because I am merciful. No one earns this love, yet all are invited to receive it. So do not keep running. Do not close your heart for fear of being wounded again. I am not like people. I do not promise temporary comfort only to withdraw. I promise to walk with you to the very end of your wound and to remain until you are fully restored. I know there are nights when you do not weep because the pain runs too deep for tears. I know you have learned to smile as a defense to nod though your heart is breaking. But I have never been absent. I was there in every tightening of your chest, in every sleepless night, in every time you struggled not to collapse before others. And now I say, it is time you no longer carry this weight alone. It is time for me to do the work of healing, not from the outside in, but from the deepest place of your soul. You may ask, how will I know if I have truly forgiven my child? You will know you have forgiven, not when you forget, but when the pain no longer governs. How you see that person no longer twists your heart when you remember. Forgiveness does not erase memory, but it removes the power memory once held. And when that happens, you will know you are walking in freedom. I do not promise you will never stumble in this process. There may be days you think you have overcome, then a scent, a scene, or a voice awakens the memory. But do not lose heart, beloved. That is not failure. It is a reminder you are still on the journey, and I am still here unchanged. You need only persistence, honesty, and small steps forward. And with each of those steps, I will uphold you. You will never again need to walk alone. My child, true freedom does not come when every wound is erased, but when you no longer let them define you. When you stop living as a victim and begin living as one redeemed. When you no longer seek validation from those who hurt you, but begin seeking my gaze. When you choose to rise not by your strength, but by the power of forgiveness. When you choose to love again, not because others deserve it, but because love is now your new nature given by me. Then you will see what you thought destroyed you has become the foundation for something greater. What you thought ended you was only the prelude to a new journey. You are not healed merely to live quietly. You are healed to carry healing. You will become a living witness of my power, and one day the broken will find hope through your story. So walk on, my child. Do not fear what lies ahead, for I have gone before you. Do not tremble at the roar of the enemy, for I am the Lion of Judah, and I have already won. This battle is no longer your burden. It is the testimony of my power in your life. Do not ask, why did this happen? But ask, Lord, what do you want me to do with this? And I will show you. I will lead you through the valley to the mountain, into the peaceful plains your soul has long desired. Then you will understand healing is not a reward for the deserving. It is a gift for those who dare to believe that I love them more than their past has hurt them. And this gift today I place in your hands. My beloved, there will be stretches of road without a map and seasons without signs. At times you will walk with eyes closed, each step taken in the dark, not knowing where it leads. But my child, these are not steps into emptiness, they are steps of faith. And in the very place where nothing is clear, you will learn to trust the one who called you out of darkness. You will learn to believe not only when you see, but even when all is hidden. I do not promise to always show you the whole path, but I promise to hold your hand to the very end. Do not fear the silence. Do not let delay make you doubt the promise. There are works I am doing deep in the unseen, and in due time they will rise strong. Just as the seed does not sprout in winter, there are things in you that must be nurtured in quiet, in solitude, in endurance. When you think nothing is happening, that is when the roots of faith are sinking deeper. You think you are slowing down, but I am preparing you for the leap. For there is no summit without valleys, and I am with you in that valley. I see your weary waiting, your bowed head when no answers come, your forced smiles while your heart cries out. I do not judge you for this. On the contrary, I understand. I know there are days you want to give up, not out of weakness, but from exhaustion. I know there are times you no longer pray, not because you lost faith, but because you have no words left. And I do not blame you for your silence. I only want you to know, even when you do not speak, I still hear. Even when you do not see, I still act. Even when you cannot feel, I am still here. The enemy will try to make you believe I have forgotten, that my promises are only empty words. He will whisper that you are wrong to trust me, that faith is wasted. But my child, stay awake. That is the voice of fear, not truth. The truth is, I have never abandoned you. The truth is, my plan is not delayed because you are weary. On the contrary, it is in your weakness that my power is most fully revealed. I will not abandon the work I have begun in you. If I have started it, I will surely complete it. You are not wandering in circles. You are being led along a path designed uniquely for you and no one else. Every turn, every wait, every delay carries purpose. You may not understand now, but one day, looking back, you will see everything had meaning. Every tear was not in vain. Every lonely prayer was not wasted. They were the material shaping a stronger, steadier person, the one I need you to be, in order to step into what I have prepared. You often think success is when everything follows your plan. But true success is when you still hold on to me in the midst of the unexplainable, when you remain faithful, even without reward. When you choose to keep walking, though, no one applauds. That is true faith, true victory, and that is when heaven smiles over you. I do not seek the perfect, I seek hearts that do not give up. And your heart, though torn, has always returned to me. That is what delights me. Do not worry about understanding everything. Do not force yourself to have all the answers. You do not need to know all to trust. You only need to know that I am faithful. I am the sure refuge, the fortress unshaken. The enemy may blow his winds and make threats, but he cannot touch what you have placed in my hands. I am the keeper, the defender, the one who fights for you. Everything happening now is bound within my sovereign rule. You are not abandoned, you are being held by my almighty hand. If there are days you no longer know how to pray, just call my name. If there are moments you don't know where to go, stop and call upon me. You need no polished words, no long hymns, just one cry, Father, and I will come. I have never been so far that I could not reach you. And no matter how shaken your soul becomes, I remain your anchor. Hold on to me. When waters rise, I am your rock. When fire burns, I am your spring. When storms rage, I am your unchanging peace. Your journey is not over, my child. It has only begun. What I have prepared for you is greater than what you have dared to ask. The future I have written does not depend on your past, but on my faithfulness. I did not choose you because you are flawless. I chose you because my love never changes. And if I have chosen, I will defend that choice to the end. You are part of a greater plan, a link in the chain of restoration. Through you, I will bear witness to power, to mercy, to everlasting love. You are not merely called to exist, you are called to live with purpose. So do not give up. Though you walk slowly, though your soul is weary, as long as your eyes are set on me, you are still on the right path. Even if you can only take one step at a time, keep walking. Even when you see no way forward, keep moving. I will shine the light. I will open the way. And I will cause all things, both good and bad, to work together to fulfill what I have ordained. My child, I know your heart is frail, but I also know what I have placed within you, and it is stronger than fear, greater than doubt. Do not let fleeting feelings rob you of the eternal promise I have spoken. Do not let the temporary defeat what is everlasting. You are being trained not merely to endure, but to overcome. I do not only want you to survive, I want you to live in glory. And if you will believe, if you will cling to me, the best is yet to come. When you keep your eyes fixed on me, the storm will not drown you. When you keep your heart turned toward me, the chaos will not overthrow you. Keep moving forward. Remember this, what I have begun I will bring to completion. And one day you will look back, smile through tears, and whisper, truly, you never left me. My child, I see that the battle you face is not merely circumstance, but a relentless spiritual war pressing against your mind, your emotions, and the depths of your soul. Some mornings you awaken weary for no reason. You can name as though part of you has fought all night unseen. And it is true, there are battles that do not rage outwardly, but erupt in racing thoughts, in broken emotions, in worries that seem baseless. I know. I have been there in the rising waves you could not name. I have watched you wrestle to hold on to faith while the enemy whispered that it was all in vain. But hear this. The enemy may create noise, yet he cannot touch your essence, for your essence belongs to me. When you feel as though you are losing, remember, truth is not anchored in feelings but in what I have declared, and I have declared you victorious. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The one who lives in you has already conquered death, defeated hell, and broken every chain this world could bind. So even when you feel overwhelmed, know this: nothing surpasses the power of my spirit within you. Do not let emotions overshadow truth. Do not let fear have the final word. My child, engrave this truth upon your heart: the enemy has no authority over your life unless you yield it through doubt, through forgetting your true identity, through living in fear. But I command you, stand firm. Do not surrender. Do not let fear push you back from the very thing I am leading you into. He may hurl subtle assaults, feelings of insecurity, of failure, of abandonment. But I am the one who never abandons. I am your fortress, your refuge, your shield, and your faithful protector forever. When it seems all is against you, remember that I am fighting for you in realms your eyes cannot see. Every time you pray in weakness, angels are dispatched. Every time you choose forgiveness over revenge, the enemy is shamed. Every time you rise after a fall, the kingdom of darkness trembles, realizing this child has not given up. And I do not give up on those who have not given up on me. No weapon, sharp or hidden, can prevail against you, for my protection is not theory, but a living reality surrounding you day and night. I know you have endured loss. I have seen peace, stolen joy, drained hope, suffocated in your darkest seasons. Yet I did not allow it without preparing restoration. I am not only the healer, but the restorer, and I restore in ways that confound the powers of darkness. You thought joy could never return as before, but I will give you deeper joy, lasting joy not drawn from circumstances, but from me. You thought peace was gone forever, but I will cause it to flow like an endless stream, a peace not dependent on how others treat you, but anchored in my unshakable presence within you. I know you placed hope in others only to see it collapse. You thought someone would be your companion, your refuge, your answer. But they failed you, and you began to wonder, who is left to trust? My child, hear me again. I am not like man. I do not shift with emotion. I do not promise and then forget. What I have spoken over you I will fulfill, and what I am building in you cannot be undone by the turning of people's hearts. No one can destroy what I have designed, for I am both the architect and the cornerstone. You thought the enemy had won when you stumbled, but know this: falling is not failure, giving up is. And you are still standing, even if only by a faint breath. You still believe, even if faith feels as small as a mustard seed. You still pray, even if your prayer is but a sigh. That is proof you are not defeated. And if you are not defeated, you are already victorious. For I stand at the end of the road, calling you, drawing you, lifting you step by step. When I look at you, I do not see weakness. I see a warrior being forged. I see a soul refined in fire that will shine with glory. None of your suffering is wasted. All of it is material for a resilient faith, a steadfast loyalty, and a heart that loves deeper than ever before. You will not only survive this season, you will emerge with new character, new authority, new spiritual depth, even through what darkness tried to crush you with. My child, trust me, not because you feel strong, but because I am faithful. Place your faith not in your ability, but in my power. Do not let fear's voice drown out my promise. Keep your heart in my word, your eyes on the cross, your soul in worship. For in doing so, you are striking fear into the enemy by living fully as a child of heaven. Nothing can separate you from my love, not hardship, not wounds, not slander. No scheme of hell can steal the blessing I have ordained. You will not live in hiding anymore. You will walk openly in grace. You will not live bowed down anymore. You will lift your head not in pride, but in the confidence of being loved. The enemy thought he could extinguish you, but I am setting you ablaze. He thought doors were shut over your life, but I am opening doors no one can close. And you will see the very evil the enemy meant to strangle you will birth goodness instead. I do not create pain, but I will not let it be wasted. You will see that I restore not only what was lost, but with abundance. I will give back life, hope, and laughter, not shallow laughter, but the sound of a healed soul released. You will rise not as the fragile one who hid in shadows, but as a bearer of light that has been tested and proven. You will be a living testimony to the world. The one within you is greater than all forces without. Through you, I will be glorified. Through your wounds, I will reveal healing. Through your journey, I will silence the enemy's lies. And in the very place you once fell, you will stand declaring, I belong to the Lord, and nothing can change that. My beloved child, lift your head, for I am your shepherd, the one who goes before you, who never abandons his flock, who never lets one stray without seeking to the end. Though now you feel lost in barren land, seeing no green fields, hearing no flowing streams, I am still leading you step by step through what you call wilderness. What you see as desolate, I use to train you, to draw you away from the world's noise, to teach you to hear my voice clearer than ever. I do not lead you by the shortest path, for the shortest way is not always the strongest way. I do not place you in fields of flowers too soon, for without valleys you would never learn to trust me when nothing else holds you. But fear not, my child. The valley of shadow is not your dwelling, it is a passage I am leading you through. Darkness may be thick, but my presence is thicker still. You may not see the light, but I am the light. You may not hear a voice around you, but I am whispering within, I am here. You need not understand why you must walk this road. You need only trust that I never lead you where a good end is not waiting. You may not see what I am doing, but that does not mean nothing is happening. In the dark, I am stripping away what does not belong to you, cleansing what has clung from the past, reshaping how you see life, not through the eyes of pain, but through healed spiritual sight. I do not promise to clear away all dangers, but I promise to be with you in every danger. I do not promise everyone will love, understand, or support you, but I promise my faithfulness will surround you, like the embrace of a father who never lets go. And when I say victory is yours, it is not mere encouragement, it is truth sealed by the triumph of my Son upon the cross. Breakthrough is not a sudden flash, but the destination of a long journey of faith. It is born of nights. You refused to quit, mornings you rose in pain, prayers uttered when hope seemed gone. And now I want you to know that moment draws nearer than ever. I have said it, I have timed it. I will not forget a single word I have promised. The enemy may seek to delay through people, through circumstances, through weariness, but nothing can delay my plan when you still trust in me. When I say the enemy has no power over the moment I have appointed, it means delay is not defeat. It is refinement. It is preparation. For I do not only give you what you ask, I give you what you can keep. I do not want blessing only to arrive. I want you strong enough not to lose it. And when you step into that moment, when doors open, when promise turns to reality, you will understand why you waited, why it did not come sooner. Every sorrow will have its answer. Every loss will be repaid with immeasurable gain. Your story is not finished. My child, it is only beginning. The chapters you thought were endings are but bridges to deeper, stronger parts. I am writing a journey no one else can write, a story only your soul can tell, a song only you can sing. And in this story, pain is not erased, but transformed. Tears are not forgotten, but kept as jewels in my hand. I waste no moment of your life. All is being gathered, every detail to weave into an unimaginable good. You once thought the dream had died, but I say the best is still ahead. You thought it was too late, but I say now is the time. You thought you missed your chance, but I say none can miss what I have reserved for you. I am not bound by time nor by human delay. What I have appointed will stand. The plan I have written cannot be hindered. You need only keep walking, even slowly, even trembling, but never stop. My child, I have seen every hidden tear, every sigh locked in your chest, every sleepless night no one else knew. I have heard every cry, every whisper, every choking silence, and I have moved, not in the way you expected, but in the way that will astonish you. When you look back, you will see I was there in every detail. Not one moment did you face alone. You are not alone. No matter what feelings suggest, no matter who turns away, no matter which friends fade, you are not alone. I, the Lord your God, your Father, your Shepherd, your stronghold, stand with you. When the world falls silent, I speak. When all doors close, I open the one no one can shut. Take courage, my child. Do not let the unknown shake your heart. Do not let uncertainty steal your rest. The peace you need does not come from control. It comes from knowing I am in control of all. So, my beloved child, keep walking. Even when your feet are heavy, even when your heart still bleeds, you are moving toward the place I have destined. Every step you take in faith pushes back the darkness. Every time you choose to trust me instead of fear, you draw heaven closer to earth. Keep walking, even if you only see one step at a time. I will take care of the rest. And one day, not far from now, you will arrive at that place. The place where life overflows, where blessings abound, where you will finally understand it was all worth it. My beloved one, quiet your heart and listen, for I am speaking to you not with a voice meant to stir fleeting emotions, but with a voice that lights the flame of hope in the midnight of your soul. You may be walking through a stretch filled with obstacles when everything inside you cries, "It's impossible," when everything outside of you is silent, as though heaven no longer hears. But do not let silence make you believe I am absent. Do not let delay cause you to doubt my hand. For it is in the very moments when you see the least and hear the least that I am working the most deep within realms the human eye cannot see and the spiritual spaces moved by your quiet prayers. I am with you not as a distant observer but as a father standing by your side in battle. I do not merely watch you fight, I fight for you. What you think you are doing alone I have long been doing for you. The attacks you thought you narrowly escaped were already blocked by my hand before they reached you. There are days you cannot understand why you still stand, why your mind has not collapsed, why your heart has not shattered. But I know, and I want you to know it, is because I have built an unseen hedge around you. I have never allowed you to carry anything beyond what you could endure without my strength to uphold you. Take courage, my child. Not because you hold every answer, but because you hold me. Not because you have a flawless life, but because you have an almighty God walking with you. Know this, you were not called to live in defeat, nor destined to drown in sorrow. You were created to overcome. You were anointed to live in victory. And though you may not see it now, let faith be the eyes that guide you into what I have promised. For the breakthrough, it is near. Breakthrough does not always come with thunder or dazzling miracles. Sometimes it comes in silence, softly, like a seed sprouting in the soil. You may not see it, but it is growing still. Do not let the unseen convince you that nothing is happening. At the appointed time, every barrier will fall, every closed door will swing open. What seemed locked tight will be loosed by my very hand. You do not need to break down the wall, simply keep moving forward, for when you reach the time I have set, the wall will collapse on its own, just as Jericho's walls crumbled when the trumpets sounded and voices shouted. Open wide your heart, my child. Do not dwell within the chambers of fear. Do not lock your soul away because of old wounds. Let me enter even into the places you thought were dead, the places you dared not face. For I have not come only to lead you through, I have come to restore you, to renew you, and to shape you into the very one I dreamed of from the beginning. Do not let your past define you. Let me define you by my love, by my plan, by my presence that will never leave you. You will see my power at work not only in the great acts that the world admires, but in the smallest details that only you and I will know. You will see me carve a way where none exists. You will see buried dreams rise again, larger, more beautiful, more vibrant than ever before. You will see the righteousness you have longed for, not the shallow justice of man, but the holy righteousness of heaven, restoring, healing, and redeeming the honor you thought was lost. You will see the enemy defeated, not by your strength, but by the power of the one who lives within you. I will throw their schemes into confusion. The traps they set will become their own snares. The curses they spoke will be broken, and my word will stand. For nothing can stand against the one I call my own. And you, yes, you are mine. No one can take that away. Victory is already yours, not something that will come, but something that has come. When my Son declared on the cross, "It is finished," victory was given to you as an eternal inheritance. Now I am teaching you to live in that victory, not by feelings, but by faith. By choosing each day to step out of regret, to step out of fear, to step out of lies that have bound you too long. Stand firm, not in your own strength, but upon my unchanging promise. Trust me, my child. Trust my timing My timing is always perfect. Do not grow impatient and do not doubt. Anything that comes before its time will not be strong enough for you to hold. I do not want you only to touch what I give, but to possess and keep it. That is why sometimes you must wait. But waiting in faith is never wasted. It is where I grow your roots deep so that when the storms rise, you will not be uprooted. This is how I train a warrior, not through shortcuts, but through the true path. One day you will look back and give thanks that things did not unfold the way you once wanted. You will see that my way was higher, deeper, stronger, more enduring. You will see that I did not only give what you asked for, but also what you never knew you needed. I will make all things right in your life, not by erasing your past, but by weaving it into the tapestry of glory. I am not repelled by your scars, I use them as marks of healing. I am not afraid of the darkness you once walked through. I use that very darkness to shine my light all the brighter. So do not lose heart. Though the night is long, the dawn will come. Though troubles persist, I remain unchanged. Though others may abandon you, I will not leave. And the breakthrough you await is not a question of if, but of when. When the time comes, I will do it. When your heart is ready, when your faith is firm, I will move and you will stand in awe. For what I am about to do will exceed what you asked or imagined. Not so that you may boast, but so that my name may be glorified in your life. This is the season for you to learn to stand firm. This is the season for you to learn to say no to fear and yes to the call of heaven. This is the time for you to no longer live as one who runs away, but as one who is called. Walk not as the wounded, but as one being restored. Pray not as one begging in fear, but as a child speaking with their father. Live not by what your eyes see, but by what I have spoken. For I have spoken, my child, and my word never returns void. Believe it, live it, hold it fast. And you will see every promise is yes and amen in Christ, and you, yes, you will be the living testimony of my unchanging faithfulness. My beloved ones, I have seen you walk through long and weary days, carrying heavy loads with tired hearts. You kept walking even when you no longer knew where you were going. Outwardly you may smile, you may seem strong, you may say, I'm fine, but I, the one who searches the heart, know the storm raging within you. There have been nights you could not sleep, not from bodily pain, but because your soul felt torn into pieces. Wounds no one else sees, but I see them. Sighs no one hears, but I hear them. Tears you wipe away in the dark, they do not fall in vain, for every drop has been gathered into my golden vessel, as a testimony of your quiet faithfulness. There are wounds you can no longer even name. They lie too deep, layered through the years, betrayals, losses, criticisms, seasons of loneliness. You have learned to walk with them as if they were part of you, a habit, a burden, an unchangeable piece of your life. But my children, this is not the road I intend for you forever. I did not create you to live bound to pain, to drag your wounds as though they were your fate. I did not form your soul to remain torn in silence. I am the one who fashioned your heart, and only I can heal it completely. I do not speak these words in reproach. No, I speak with compassion. For I see you weary under burdens too heavy to carry further. I see you pressing on, still keeping faith, still worshiping, still helping others while inside you are collapsing. I do not condemn you for being weak. I do not scold you for doubting or despairing. I know every sigh and why it escapes. I am not repulsed by your weariness, I only long to draw nearer to carry what you cannot. There are wounds the world cannot heal, not because it is cruel, but because it is not deep enough to reach the broken places of your soul. People may offer advice, medicine, or time, but only I, your Father, your Creator, can step into the darkest corners of your soul and cause light to shine where life seemed gone. Let me in. Do not keep me outside the door where you hide your pain. Do not think you must fix yourself before I can work. No, my child, let me heal you, and you will be free. You do not need to keep pretending. You do not need to keep hiding. I do not require a flawless image. I want a true heart. I do not need a faith without cracks. I only need a faith, however fragile, willing to reach for my hand. You may come to me in brokenness, I will not turn away. You may come in silence, I will still hear. You may come in anger, confusion, despair. I will still wait without distancing myself. You think you must be strong to deserve love. But I say it is when you are weak that my love is most complete. It is when you are broken that I draw closest. Do you know, when you weep, I do not only watch, I weep with you. When you scream in despair, I do not only hear, I tremble with you. I have carried your pain not only on the cross, but every day, every hour. That is love, not theory, but living reality. And today I call you, do not go on living in hidden pain. The time has come for you to be healed. My child, your pain is not proof of weakness, but a reminder that you can still feel, and that is precious. Your heart still beats, still longs for the sacred, still yearns for true love. And I, who love you with an unconditional love, am stretching out my arms to you. Do not fear uncovering the past. Do not fear facing the wounds. I will be there not only to listen but to lay my hand of healing upon them. You will not face the past alone. I will be your light through every dark place. Perhaps you have tried to forget. Perhaps you have told yourself, "It's been long enough, I should be fine." But whenever something touches that tender place, the tears still fall. Whenever someone mentions something similar, your heart clenches. You thought you had forgiven, had moved on, but I know a part of you is still bound, still suffocating, still not free. Today, I do not come to judge. I come to unbind, not to make you feel worse, but to set you free. I know forgiveness is not easy, especially when the other is unrepentant, especially when you have lost so much. But forgiveness is not accepting injustice. It is trusting that I am the judge, I am the righteous one, and I will restore. When you forgive, you are not saying what they did was right. You are declaring that I am trustworthy to uphold justice. And in that moment, you open the door for me to do what your heart has long waited for, to heal. You do not need to keep living with that wound. You do not need to carry the image of a victim forever. You can step out as one healed, restored beloved. I have prepared a place for you where peace flows like a river, where burdens are laid down, where joy returns after long absence. But you must dare to let go. You must dare to say, "Lord, I need you. I cannot heal myself. Please do this for me." And when you say it, I will do it. Not suddenly, not with a flashy miracle, but with my gentle, steady, deep touch. I will heal piece by piece, every memory, every wound, every word that cut, every act that broke trust. I will replace bitterness with peace, fear with hope, heavy silence with laughter. I will make you new again, not just on the outside, but from the depths of your soul. My child, are you ready? Are you ready to stop running away from yourself? Are you ready for me to take your hand and lead you out of the darkness? Are you ready to say, "Father, I surrender. Please heal me. I have been waiting for this moment, not to claim victory, but to see you free." You do not have to live as someone patching yourself together day by day. You can live as one who truly lives when I heal you. Do not delay any longer, my beloved. Do not take another step backward. Come. Fall into my arms. Let the tears flow, and let them be wiped away by my hand. Let the cry of your heart be spoken, uncovered and unbound. Let me do what you cannot. For I am Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals you. My child, I see clearly what is stirring within you, as clearly as my eyes see the hidden currents raging beneath a sea that looks calm on the surface. You do not need to hide from me, for there is nothing within you that I do not already know. I see that you are weary from your own emotions, not from great troubles outside, but from the restless waves within you that refuse to be still. One moment you rejoice over something small, and in the next breath your heart feels suffocated by an unnamed fear. You try to control it, to reason with it, yet you find yourself sinking deeper into its whirlpool. You feel weak, you feel like a failure, you feel like a burden to others. But my child, I want you to know this: I do not condemn you. On the contrary, I have compassion for you. I see the storms inside your soul, and I do not turn away. I step into them one step at a time, without fear, without hesitation, as a steadfast father walking into the dark room where his trembling child waits. I know there are days when you cannot understand yourself. You feel drowned in a flood of emotions with no way out. You ask yourself, why am I so fragile? Why does a single word break me down? Why is my heart like water, never at rest? But my child, do not be quick to blame yourself. Do not rush to condemn yourself. For you are not only fighting emotions, you are also wrestling against an unseen enemy, one who has quietly sown confusion, so that you no longer know what is true and what is false, what is from me, and what is only the deception of darkness. He does not want to steal your wealth or your reputation. He wants to steal your peace. For when peace is lost, you become unsettled, prone to error, weary, and easily drawn away from me. But I am the Lord of peace, not shallow peace, but the peace that surpasses all understanding. And I have come not to condemn you, but to restore what you have lost. You cannot heal yourself. and I have never required you to do so. I never told you that you must be strong enough to conquer temptation, wise enough to discern truth on your own, or tough enough to soothe the old wounds inside you. You cannot stitch back together the fragments of your soul, just as a wounded person cannot perform surgery on themselves. But I, the healer, the one who knows every fiber of your being, can do this. No wound is too deep for me to touch. No part of you is too dark for my light to reach. No broken piece is beyond my power to restore into something more beautiful than before. Perhaps you wonder, how can you heal me when I don't even know where I am wounded? But my child, I do not need you to point it out. I saw it long before you ever noticed. I was there the very moment those words wounded you, the instant your heart cracked under betrayal, abandonment, and disappointment. I saw it, I felt it, and I did not leave. You think you must be strong to deserve my care. But no, my beloved, I come to the weak, I hold the hands of the weary, I carry those who have no strength to stand on their own. That is who I am, a gentle yet powerful father. My child, the enemy has filled your heart with confusion, making you believe you are not good enough, not strong enough, not holy enough to be loved. But I tell you the truth, my love does not shift with your moods. It is not dependent on your joy or sorrow, your success or failure, your holiness or weakness. It depends only on me, and I am unchanging love. I chose you before you chose me. I loved you while you were still far from me, and I will not forsake you, even if you forsake yourself. The peace you seek does not come from everything around you being perfect. It does not come from having control over every situation. It comes from resting in my arms, trusting that I am still sovereign, even when everything outside seems chaotic. Peace is not the absence of noise, but the steady strength within your soul when you know that I am here, still loving, still guiding, still protecting. Peace comes when you say, Lord, I do not understand, but I still believe. When you surrender your need to control, that is when I can work as I desire. You do not need to suppress your emotions. I never ask you to live as though you had none, untouched, unhurt, unwearied. I do not need masks. I want your heart as it truly is. If you are angry, tell me. If you are sad, tell me. If you are afraid, do not hide it from me. Open your heart. Let me in. For I have not only come to heal, I have come to walk with you. I want you never to fight alone again. My child, trust me. Not with your logic, but with your heart. Let me bring order to your emotions. Let me pull out the deep roots of fear, regret, and shame. Let me pour into your soul a peace that does not come from circumstances, but from my presence within you. I will lead you into stillness. I will seat you beside quiet waters. I will restore your soul, not partially, but wholly. Do not give up on the path of healing simply because it does not move as quickly as you wish. I do not always heal every wound instantly because I care about depth and endurance. There are parts of you that need time to be understood, layers that need patience to be peeled away. But I promise if you walk with me, you will see the miracle. You will look back and realize where there was once pain, now strength flows. Where there was once a wound, now compassion for others is born. And where it was darkest, my light shines the brightest. For I am the God of renewal. I do not merely patch, I make new. I do not merely soothe, I transform. I do not merely heal, I restore with purpose. And when you are made whole, you will become a fountain of healing for others. I will use the very story you are living today to encourage someone standing at the edge of despair. You may not know it, but someone out there needs to see that a person like you has survived. And you will not only survive, you will live abundantly. So, my child, lift up your head, take a deep breath and say, Lord, I cannot, but you can. And that is the prayer I always answer. No poetry needed, no perfection required, just honesty. Let me begin today in this very moment to lay my hand upon your soul and fill it with a peace no one can steal. For I am yours and you are mine. Let the journey of healing begin here. My child, do you know that I have woven the emotions within you like a symphony? Every tone, every rise and fall is a composition written by my own hand. Yet music is only heard when someone knows how to play the instrument. Emotions are not meant to rule you. They are companions on your journey. I did not create you to be a slave to your emotions, but to govern them under the light of my spirit. You once thought that if you did not feel, you would be safe. But no, my child, you were not created to be barren. You were created to resonate, to feel deeply, but in truth, not in the blinding storm of lies and wounds. I have seen how much you have endured emotions, twisted by rejection, torn apart by betrayal, frozen by fear. What was once pure has been covered by the dust of years and the mistakes of others. You began to doubt yourself, and then to doubt me. You thought that if I truly loved you, I would never have allowed such things to happen. But my child, my love is not proven by sparing you from tears, but by keeping every tear you shed in my bottle. I do not always lift you out of the storm, but I walk with you through it, and that is why you are still here, still standing, after all. Your emotions do not need to be silenced for you to be strong. On the contrary, when you bring them to me, you will find true strength. Strength is not the absence of feeling. It is the courage to feel without being consumed. It is daring to weep without losing hope. It is daring to be angry without falling into hatred. It is daring to grieve while still choosing love. That is the power of a soul guided by the Spirit. And I long to teach you this not only through words, but through my very presence in every day you live. You once prayed, "Lord, make me steadfast." But you did not know that steadfastness comes from learning to govern your emotions. A life not rooted in my peace will always be swept away by the whirlwind of unhealed feelings. I do not call you to avoid pain, but to face it with me, not to crush you, but to raise you from the ashes. As I lifted Joseph from the pit, as I turned David's tears into songs of worship, as I healed Mary Magdalene and made her life a testimony of resurrection, so too will I do with you. Healing is not instant. It is a journey I will never leave you to walk alone. There will be mornings you awaken lighthearted and other days when you feel as though you have fallen back to where you began. I understand. I do not demand that you always be strong. I only invite you to always be honest. When you are angry, tell me. When you are weary, come near. When you cannot understand your sorrow, rest quietly in my presence. I do not despise your storms of emotion. I only do not want you to weather them alone. Do you not know there are battles I never asked you to fight because I have already won them? And I promise you this, if you allow me to teach you to lean on me instead of your emotions, your life will enter a new season where your emotions flow like a river aligned with my will. You will be free from uncontrolled anger. You will be healed from bitterness deeply rooted in your heart. You will no longer tremble at rejection, for you will know that your worth does not come from the approval of others, but from my declaration, you are my beloved child, chosen, redeemed, and called by name. The peace I give is not the silence of emotions, but the harmony of your soul with the heartbeat of heaven. When you live in this peace, you will not be shaken by bad news, nor swayed by human words, nor crushed by fleeting emotions. You will live with a heart tender yet resolute, a soul sensitive yet unshaken, a mind that knows how to love and to grieve yet without despair. For I am the source, the foundation, the fortress that cannot be moved. Then you will become a place where others find refuge in their turmoil. Because you have walked the path they are just beginning. Because you have been healed and now become an instrument of healing. Your emotions, once leading you astray, will now become vessels through which I reveal love, mercy, and life. This is the wondrous transformation, not by your strength, but by my grace. So today, my child, let go. Release the need to control. Release the shame of anger, unrestrained. Release the disappointment of not overcoming your past. Let me begin again. Let me sanctify every emotion, so that you may see true peace does not come from the absence of feeling, but from feeling sanctified by my Spirit. Are you ready? Begin right where you are, right now, in this very moment. Do not wait until you feel good enough, ready enough, wise enough. Healing does not wait for perfection, it comes to the willing heart. And I, the one who placed emotions within you, am also the one who will guide them, if you let me. My child, when I say that I will bring clarity to your mind, it is not merely comfort, it is my promise. A promise to renew what was clouded to shine, where darkness has long covered you. I know your mind has been tormented by lies, negative thoughts, obsessions from a past that would not let you go. There were nights of restless questions without answers and mornings when exhaustion deepened. But now I come not to make you understand everything, but to give you a mind renewed by the light of my Spirit. I will help you discern truth from lies, wisdom from deception. I will give you eyes to see your life through heavenly wisdom, not through the dim lens of wounded emotions. Yet I will not stop with your mind. I will go deeper to the places of your deepest wounds, even those hidden from yourself. You have grown accustomed to telling others you are fine, that you are strong, that you have overcome. But I know the truth. I see the cracks in your heart left by harsh words, repeated rejections, betrayals you bore in silence, disappointments that wore away your hope. You may not recall every detail, but your body, your mind, your heart remembers. And so I have not come only to comfort you. I have come to make all things new, to heal every fragment, every scar, every tear. I know there are things you have buried deep for fear that facing them again would destroy you. You fear that if you allow yourself to feel, everything will break open and you will lose control. But listen, my child, I am not afraid of your pain. I am not repelled by your wounds. On the contrary, they are the very place where I begin my restoration. I do not come to judge or condemn you for being weak, for failing, for falling. I come to embrace you, to lift you, to wipe away your tears, and to whisper, I am still here, and I will never leave you. My healing is neither hurried nor forced, nor does it demand that you overcome everything quickly. It is a journey, a process born of patience and unconditional love. I will walk with you step by step, without haste, without pressure. When you no longer have the strength to walk, I will carry you. When you no longer have words to pray, I will intercede for you. When you no longer know what to believe in, I will still believe in you, for I never abandon what I have begun. And I began this good work in you before you were even born, and I will bring it to completion, until your soul is fully restored, until you rise in the freedom I destined for you. My child, it is time to let go of the lies the enemy has planted in your mind. Poisonous whispers such as, you are unworthy, you are not good enough, you will forever be broken, no one truly loves you. Your future will only repeat your past. All of these are deceptions, and the greatest danger is not that the enemy lies, but when you begin to believe those lies. But today I desire to overthrow each one. I want you to know that you are wonderfully made. You are loved not because you are perfect, but because you are my masterpiece. Nothing in your past, no matter how dark, can prevent me from loving you and using you for a higher purpose. You no longer need to carry the bitterness that has gnawed at your soul. I know that those you trusted most may have hurt you most deeply. But when you cling to unforgiveness, you are the one imprisoned. You are wearing chains forged by others, yet you are the one suffering each day. I invite you to let go, not to deny the pain, but to free your soul, not to erase the past, but to step into the future. When you choose to forgive, you are not declaring that what was done is right, but that it no longer controls you. And I will give you the strength to do this, a strength you could never find if you relied only on yourself. I see the anger within you, not because you are bad, but because you have been wounded too many times. Yet if you let that anger remain too long, it will destroy your soul from within. I do not want that for you. I want to place peace in your heart, not a false silence, but a true and deep rest born from trust in me. As you learn to surrender to me, you will learn to release what once bound you. Old memories, toxic words, broken relationships. Not to deny them, but to no longer be ruled by them. I will restore you to the person I created you to be, not twisted by rejection, not distorted by pain, not bound by shame. You are light. You are the salt of the earth. You are the one I loved so much that I gave everything to redeem. You are not the product of a mistake, but the result of a plan filled with grace. As you walk in this truth, you will be free. And that freedom is not vague. It is the power to say, no matter what my past has been, my future is in God's hands. My child, I know you are weary, but I also know you are never alone. I am here, not watching from afar, but walking beside you. Each day I am doing a new thing in you. And if you continue to trust, continue to surrender, continue to hold on to my promises, then nothing, no pain, no loss, no lie, can stop you from stepping into what I have destined. For healing is not just something I give to you, it is something I paid dearly to purchase for you. And I will not allow anything to hinder you from receiving it today, right now. Do you believe? If so, come to me. Open your heart. Say, Lord, here I am, and I will do the rest, for I am the Lord of healing. I am the restorer of souls. I am the Father who loves you with an unchanging love, and I will not stop until you are completely free, completely at peace, and living in the fullness I intended for you from the beginning. My beloved child, I know this is not easy. I know there are those who have wounded you so deeply that just thinking of them tightens your heart. I know you have had days when anger swallowed up your peace nights, when tears silently fell with no one to notice. There were moments when you thought you had forgiven, yet a word, a memory, a familiar gesture, and the wound rose again, as if it had never healed. You have asked, how do I let go? How can my heart stop being ruled by old pain? How can I truly forgive without feeling like I am hurting myself again? I know, I see, I understand fully. But my child, I also want you to know that what seems impossible for you is entirely possible with me. You do not need to forgive on your own, nor strain to overcome pain alone. I do not ask you to pretend you were never hurt. I do not ask you to erase the past or minimize the harm done. I know it was real, deep, painful, sometimes devastating. Yet today I invite you to let me step into those wounds. Let me enter the fragments and make them a place where something new is born. I will give you the strength to forgive, not by reason, but by a heart healed and renewed through my love. Forgiveness is not always a single moment. Sometimes it is a journey stretching across days, years, and repeated prayers. Lord, help me forgive once again. I do not dismiss that journey, nor will I abandon you in it. Instead, I will be there untying each knot in your heart, loosening each layer of pain built over time. I will not force you nor demand you feel what you are not ready for. But I will patiently, persistently, and gently call you. Give this to me, place it in my hands. Let me carry it for you. When you choose forgiveness, you are not weak, you are choosing the strongest path. Forgiveness does not declare the wrongdoer innocent. Forgiveness does not deny the pain. Forgiveness says the pain no longer dictates your future. Forgiveness proclaims that you refuse to live under the yoke of resentment, bitterness, and hurt. And as you walk this way, I will fill you with peace. Peace beyond all understanding. Peace not born of circumstances, but of my very presence within you. My child, healing does not come in a moment. It takes time, and above all, it takes faith. You must believe that even when you do not see, I am at work. Even when you do not feel it, I am moving within your heart. There will be times you feel nothing has changed, that everything is as heavy and tangled as before. But I tell you, do not let feelings decide your faith. Let truth guide your emotions. And the truth is, I am holding your heart, I am carrying your burden, and I will never abandon you in this process of healing. There are wounds not caused by others, but by your own self-blame. Hurting yourself with harsh words, unreachable standards, endless self-condemnation. You blame yourself for trusting the wrong people. You blame yourself for being weak. You blame yourself for not moving on faster, stronger. But my child, I never see you that way. I look at you with compassion, with patience, with unchanging love. Stop blaming yourself. Let me define you, not by your failures, but by my love. I know there are nights you cannot sleep, thoughts replaying endlessly, old images, old words, unnameable emotions. You are tired, drained, feeling as though you are dying inside. But I tell you this, do not fear. Give me your heart. Open your heart even just a little. I will not enter if you are not ready, but if you crack the door open, I will enter gently with light, with unshakable healing. Surrender does not mean giving up. Surrender is the strongest act you can make, placing everything into my hands, trusting that I alone am powerful enough to transform, loving enough to heal, and faithful enough to never leave you. Surrender the pain you have carried so long. Surrender the wounds you have never dared face. Surrender the fears that secretly manipulate your thoughts. Surrender the anger that has smoldered in your heart. Surrender the sorrow that has dimmed the light in your eyes. I do not promise you will never cry again, but I promise I will count every tear. Every pain you endure I will use for good. Every moment you feel too weak, I will be your strength. And one day you will look back and see it was in your weakness that you experienced my power most deeply. It was when you had nothing left that I became everything for you. You no longer need to struggle alone. You no longer need to try to be strong by your own strength. I am here, not only to comfort, but to act. I will work in your heart, soothing wounds, binding what bleeds, mending every fracture in your soul. All I ask is this: surrender. Open your heart, trust, and keep walking step by step in the light I give. My beloved, I do not only want to heal you so you feel better. I want to restore you so you can step into the purpose I destined for you from the beginning. Each healed wound will become living testimony of my faithfulness. Each act of forgiveness will be a banner of victory over bitterness. Each time you dare to love again will be triumph over the fear of being hurt once more. And so you, once broken, will become a vessel of healing for others. Therefore, my child, give me your heart, not a perfect one, but your true heart, with all its disorder scars and unresolved places. I will not reject it. I will not despise it. I will embrace and heal it. For you are my child, and I am the Lord of healing. My beloved child, when I heal your emotions, it is not merely to help you feel better or survive a difficult season. I do not come only to soothe your tears, but to transform the very way you live, the way you feel, the way you respond to the world around you. The healing I bring is not a temporary remedy, but a deep transformation from within. I will teach you how to no longer be mastered by emotions, no longer driven into rash decisions or uncontrolled reactions. You will no longer be a victim of yourself, of surging waves of emotion, of nameless anxiety, of rootless anger. Instead, you will be led by my Spirit, who gives life, peace, and lasting balance to your soul. You will learn to respond to every circumstance with wisdom that comes from me. When people offend you, instead of anger, you will respond with gentleness. When you face difficulties, instead of panic, you will place your trust in me. When one door closes, you will not despair, for you know I can open another far greater. The wisdom I give is unlike the wisdom of the world. It does not come from books or mere experience, but from my living presence within you. I will teach you when to speak and when to keep silent, when to move and when to wait, when to confront and when to place it in my hands. And the wonder is this: as you walk in such discernment, others will see the peace within you, not a forced peace, but true, steady, unshakable peace. My child, the storms of life will not cease to blow. But I do not promise to silence every storm. I promise to teach you how to stand firm within them. You will no longer be tossed by feelings, by rumors, by sudden changes in circumstance. You will learn to remain steadfast, not because you are stronger, but because you are bound to the source of life, which is me. Your emotions, whether joy, sorrow, anger, or fear, will be reshaped in the light of truth. I will help you see that emotions are not your enemy, but when left unredeemed, they open doors to the enemy. And I do not want anything, whether inner feelings or outer circumstances, to steal the peace I have poured into you. I do not only heal parts of you, I am restoring you wholly. Your heart, once shattered by disappointment, once closed off by fear, will be softened in my presence. Your mind, once filled with lies, accusations, and memories of the past, will be cleansed by truth. Your soul, once unstable, lost, will find its anchor in me. I am making you whole again, not by returning you to what you once were, but by leading you into a better, stronger, brighter version of yourself. You will experience freedom like never before. Freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want, but release from what once bound you. You will no longer be enslaved to emotions, no longer letting fear dictate relationships, no longer letting anger destroy what you are building, no longer letting sorrow paralyze you into retreat. You will walk in the light not with reluctant steps, but with the firm stride of one who has been restored, empowered, and wholly loved. You will no longer need to pretend you are okay because you will truly be okay. Not because circumstances have changed, but because you have been changed in my presence. My child, understand, this healing is a journey. It does not happen in one gathering, one prayer, or one emotional moment. Healing is a series of faithful choices, steady decisions, one step deeper each day. Each time you choose to release resentment, that is a step of healing. Each time you reject lies and choose truth, that is a step of healing. Each time you refuse to react in old ways and instead respond by my spirit, that is a step of healing. And I am there, not only as witness, but walking each step with you. There may be moments when you feel as though you are moving backward, the old emotions resurface, unexpected storms of the heart rise again. But do not lose heart, my child. That does not mean you have failed. It is simply a part of the journey. I do not demand perfection from you. I only call you to be faithful. Keep drawing near to me, keep speaking with me, keep opening your heart, and I promise there will never be a moment when you walk alone. Every step you take is seen by me. Every tear you shed is wiped away by my hand. Every prayer you lift up is remembered. I am doing a great work within you, a work that will leave you astonished when you look back. And then the day will come when you look into the mirror and no longer see a broken person but one who has been restored. You will realize that your heart has become tender without being fragile. Your mind has grown clear without being restless, and your soul has been set free without fear. You will carry healing not only for yourself, but for those around you. For whoever has been loved much will know how to love much, and whoever has been healed will know how to touch the wounds of others with compassion. You will become my instrument of peace, a light in the darkness and a hand reaching out to wandering souls. My beloved child, continue to trust. Continue to let me guide you. Continue to surrender everything into my hands, both what you can see and what you cannot yet name. For I am the one who began this good work in you, and I will bring it to completion, until the day you are fully restored, walking in unshakable peace, living wholly in the purpose I prepared for you from the beginning. Remember this: what I begin, I will finish. And what I heal will no longer remain a scar, but a testimony of grace. My precious one, I will continue the work of healing in your heart as long as you remain open and allow me to move. I will never force myself upon you, but I will always wait patiently, waiting for you to tire of striving in your own strength, waiting for you to see that it is not by your own power that you can overcome the deep layers of wounded emotions. I know how hard you have tried. I have seen you fight, endure, and push yourself to get through each day with wounds not yet fully healed. But I want you to know that when you let go, not in defeat but in surrender, that is when I can perform wonders within you. The deepest healing always begins with surrender. Only when you release your grip of control can I touch the very roots of your pain and draw out the hidden poisons that have long been draining your soul. I will move in your heart according to my timing, not rushed, not careless, but never late. Every wound has its own layers, and I will peel them back one by one, gently, carefully, and with love. There will be days when you feel more unsettled than healed, when buried emotions suddenly surface and frighten you. But know this: it is not regression, but the beginning of true healing. I did not come to patch the surface. I came to renew you from within, so that you will not merely feel better for a day, but be set free forever. When you surrender to me, peace will begin to flow through your soul. When you trust my timing, you will experience a joy that no circumstance can take away. And when you open your heart to me, my love will flood every corner of your once broken soul. There will be times when you feel as though nothing has changed. You may think you are going backward, that you are not as strong as you believed. There will be days when you feel stuck, still angry, still sorrowful, still afraid. But my child, that too is part of the journey. Healing does not move in a straight line, and not every day will feel better than the last. There will be dark days, but that does not mean you have failed. It is simply my invitation for you to return to sit with me, and remember, you are not alone. Healing is like an upward spiral. You may circle around, but each turn rises higher than before. Be patient with yourself just as I am patient with you. Allow yourself to be fragile, to be weak, to lean on me. For it is in weakness that my power is made perfect. You will step out of this journey not only with a healed heart, but with a stronger one. Strong does not mean hardened, it means tender yet unbreakable. You will no longer be swept away by your emotions, but will be guided by my peace. You will no longer react out of old patterns, but will respond with love and wisdom from my spirit. The things that once made you stumble will lose their power over you. The wounds that once weighed you down will become sacred marks of a life restored, and you will know that every tear shed, every prayer whispered, was never in vain. I have seen, I have heard, and I have been at work even when you could not see it. Continue to trust me, my child. Though your emotions may deceive you, though your circumstances may cause you to doubt, remain faithful. I am the one who does not change. My love for you is not conditioned by how you feel today. I love you in your strength and in your weariness. I am at work within you doing a deep, lasting work that no one else can do. Every time you kneel in prayer, every time you pour out tears before me, I continue this work. Do not fear what you feel. Let me take your hand and walk with you through this journey. For I am not only the one who begins, I am also the one who completes. And what I have begun in you, I will bring to completion until the very end. You are my child. That has never changed and never will. I chose you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I called you by name and engraved you upon the palm of my hand. Nothing can separate you from my love, not wounds, not the past, not unstable emotions, not life circumstances. I will never abandon you. Others may turn away, but I will not. Everything around you may change, but I remain faithful. My love does not depend on how well you perform, but on who you are, my beloved child. And when you offer your heart to me, not perfect but sincere, I will begin to renew all things. Your soul, your heart, your mind will be restored, anointed, and renewed in my living presence. You will walk in true freedom, not as the world defines it, but as inner freedom, lightness of soul, joy beyond circumstance. You will know the unshakable peace that comes from knowing I hold your future, that nothing you endure is wasted, that all things are working together for eternal good. You will learn to let my love permeate every decision, every relationship, every response in your life. And you will become new, not led by wounds, but by hope. No longer seeking your worth in the eyes of others, but living as one whose value has been established by your Creator. My child, you are never alone. Each step you take, though trembling, though slow, is a step I walk with you. When you see only one set of footprints in the sand, that is when I am carrying you. When you feel too weak to pray, know that my spirit is interceding for you with groans too deep for words. When you are silent, I still hear the cry of your heart, and when you are weary, I do not rebuke you, but I stretch out my arms to embrace you, whispering, "Rest in me." My child, I am still at work. Keep your heart tender, my dear one. Open yourself not once, but daily. Healing is not a sudden miracle, but like a steady stream flowing beneath the soil, slowly nourishing the dry ground of your soul. And then like a bud pushing through after a long winter, you will see new life rising where death once reigned. You will be amazed, not because you are strong, but because I am faithful. I am doing a good work in you, my child. A great, enduring, and profound work. A work of restoration of life and of hope. Do not rush. Do not measure yourself by another's pace. Let me move according to my rhythm, for I know exactly what you need and when. And when the time is right, you will understand the purpose of every waiting, every tear, every release. I will heal your soul, restore your emotions, and lead you into abundant life. Trust in my love, the love that does not change, does not condition, does not limit. That is the greatest healing of all, and that love will make you whole. With everlasting love, I, your heavenly Father, am here, waiting and at work. Now, my beloved child, in the stillness of your soul, lift your eyes and open your heart. Offer me the prayer that rises from the deepest part of you, the place once broken, now being healed. Almighty God, you who have seen every hidden tear I have shed today, I come before you with nothing hidden, nothing concealed. I offer you all the tangled emotions within me, fear, anger, sorrow, disappointment, the things I once tried to control in my own strength, but I am weary now and I surrender. Take my hand, lead my mind out of the labyrinth of chaos. Heal my soul, grant me peace that surpasses understanding. Let your spirit reign in my emotions, teaching me to live in freedom, patience, and love. I no longer want to live tormented. I long to live under your guidance. I submit, I obey, and I learn to trust you each day. Heavenly Father, who never grows weary of me, who faithfully heals me day by day, step by step. There are things in me I do not even understand, but you know. There are wounds I have buried for years, but you see. Today I no longer want to deny what still bleeds within me. I invite you into every hidden chamber of my heart, the places your light has never touched. Shine, cut away, and heal. I no longer want to master my emotions, for I have seen the limits of myself. I place them under your leadership. Teach me to forgive, to let go, to live unbound by the past. Transform me from within. Faithful Father, I know you will never abandon me. Yet I know I have often ignored your presence. I let my emotions lead me far from you. Anger, fear, resentment, despair. I let my past define my worth instead of hearing your word. But today, with honesty, I return. Touch me not only to soothe the pain, but to renew my heart. Fill me with holy peace. Help me no longer to react from old patterns, but to reflect your image in every response, every word, every thought. Train me to become the child you destined me to be. God of life, I thank you for not leaving me in the ruins of emotion. You came not just to comfort me, but to rebuild me. Thank you for patient love, for gentle guidance, for the supernatural peace I never knew before. Without you, I would still be running from myself. But now I have learned to face everything, not because I am strong, but because you are with me. Lord, I thank you that every tear I shed has not been forgotten. Thank you that every painful step has been remembered by you. You have lifted me up. You have restored what was worn away. I am grateful that you not only listen but act, not only touch but remain, not only heal but teach. You are the one who makes all things new within me. Beloved Father, thank you for not rushing yet never delaying. You walk with me close enough to feel gentle enough not to frighten me. Thank you for not condemning me in my weakness, but always being ready to embrace me. You are good, and I offer my deepest gratitude from the depths of my soul. I pray this in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so together we may build a strong community of faith.